Sanbonani guys, welcome back to yet another video, and we are speaking about the latest episode of AmaGrootman, or should we say the real husbands of Darwin, because that's the vibes it's starting to give. And no shade guys to the ones who are in Durban and have husbands in Durban. I mean, I don't believe in the saying that all men are the same, but anyway. So this episode starts off with Andile, aka Bonga, and he is coming back from work. Remember Andile? He is a school principal by position or something like that. Yeah, he's a school principal or yeah, something like that by position. So he comes back home. He's coming back to his very much pregnant wife Utandega. Tandega, guys, she looks like she's a child, level-headed woman. She's beautiful, guys. That Dindi type of vibes. And when they're having a conversation, we get from the information ukuthi she is 2 months away from delivery. Now, I'm just thinking to myself, guys, remember the previous episode? The gents were mad at Andile for not coming out with them to go clubbing because the wife, basically, he said he couldn't come out because of the wife. And Bonga basically said, but the wife is not that far off. A woman that is 2 months away from giving birth, guys, you telling me that the rest of these other guys that were like, Boga, like it's not yet that time. Ulokuzanu Voinke must be staying with his wife like that. And I'm just like 2 months away. Do you understand that there's women who give birth at that stage? So I am grateful that he chose his wife. But I'm all like I said something in the last video, you guys, that Andile, aka Bonga, he's the most level-headed guy here. He calls himself the mediator, and I see why he's the mediator, because he's level-headed. But there's just something engekho right, because I'm just like, umuntu right kangaka, hanging out with a bunch of guys who just seem so corrupt or cheating left, right, and center. Like, you know that saying of birds of the same feather flock together, something like that. Like, there's just something that's just not adding up there, because I know that Andilo could possibly get Abantaba right, or at his, I don't want to say his level, but who live the same type of life that he seems to be leading. But anyway, Andile, remember he did say, Wuti Araishatanga. Ugel, Aramshatanga, Ugel, and he's having a conversation with his baby mama now, and he's saying, Wuti, you know what, he wants her to have a conversation with the family. Wuti utabang Wuti they must do lobola, finish off amalobola, and on the same day they must do umembeso plus a Zulu wedding all at once. I'm just like, yo, I'm so ugel ujawulani, because I mean, guys, everything being done on one day, and this guy really looks like a guy you can build it. Umuntu. You know what? I think they so good. They seem, let me not say they're good for one another. They seem as if they're good for one another, guys, because it seems like they really understand one another well, and it really seems like they're in a good place. I just feel like this guy, if you really want to continue living the life he's living and being a reputable man, he should separate himself from the rest of this group. Okay, guys, we see Ubonga again. Bonga is taking out his wife for dinner. His wife is a beautiful yellow boat. She looks young, but I could be wrong, or it could just be that one baby face, you guys. So anyway, guys, Bonga's wife goes on to say to him, you know what, you need to spend more time with the boys and teach them like what it's like, or how you're supposed to behave as a boy child. Guys, this is such an important conversation to have. I know for some people it's just like, whatever. But once you become a mother and you have a boy child in this day and age, I feel like Ubonga has seen it, he's done it. I mean, he's doing it. Izinto zabafana. Like, he's the best person his boy children of what really is going on, and how to handle yourself, how to safeguard yourself, how to protect yourself in this day and age. But for the fact that the wife is even having a conversation with him, which he needs to have time for his sons, while this guy looks like he always has time from Abangan, I was slightly disappointed at that. I don't want to lie. So anyway, the wife goes on to say, Pela, the one son, he went for circumcision. He was scared, but when he did eventually do the circumcision, he was basically having a conversation with Umawaike about the whole process of circumcision. And she was like, hey, like, go and have that conversation with your father because there's nothing I can advise you on or nothing that I can help you on concerning that topic. But anyway, she goes on to say, Utu boy Pelo, uyatsaba, like he's scared of you. I find, I don't know, guys, like there's just something about men who, when they are out in the public, they are the most friendliest people. But yet, I don't like that, you guys. I think it was that conversation the wife was having gave me a bit of a glimpse. Wuti, this guy really is. He's a man. He's grown up, but he's still living as a boy. Like no one should be like having conversations with you guys about spending enough time with your children, especially when your children are grown enough to a point where they even having like they're getting circumcision done. So mela khulume noma wakhe izinto that he should be speaking with his father, whereas his father's around. Anyway, Ubonga, I guess says I so Buyela Wulok, we'll get back to that. You can see he's not really even interested in that. It's not something he's really taking serious. Because I need to know agenda, yeah, I can conversation. Anyway, he goes on to say, Wuti Pela Tenge Umuzi, they bought a house in town and they will be leaving the current house that they are living in or staying in Bonke and Mfazake and Inganzabo are going to move to the townhouse, which means that this house that they're currently staying in is not going to have anybody. He goes on to say, Wuti Velemes Tuta, we're not going to take anything. We're going to leave the furniture, we're going to leave the cutlery, the utensils, everything, because the furniture kaya is not going to match the furniture le eThekwini eMasabaphi. So they're going to start from scratch. So Ubonga can tell ukuthi hayi le nkulumo man ukuthi ingathi is that wrong Tednyan. But I'm like there's something that he's trying to say because I was just like there's something in what he's not saying. So you ask the wife, makes it seem obviously as if he's tossing it back to the wife. You know how you must make it seeming that the person has a say. You've already made up your mind which funan. He goes on to say, so when a mamabo planani, like what was your plan in terms of who's going to stay in this house? So she goes on to say ukuthi mina abang ukuthi sithola umuntu ozogada lana like endlini who's going to take care of this place noba umuntu ozopasha or akade. Ubonga goes on to say ukuthi enzeni like lo muntu uzogada enzeni la ekhaya. Like what do you mean kanti umuntu oqashile or umuntu ogadayo, like is it not up to them what they're going to do at their time? So Ubonga goes on to say oh usho ukuthi umnawenu hlampi. And the wife looks at him and she's like, Ini. And he just smiles. He's like, I need to see where are my options la. I'm like, up now, where are my options? This guy has his mind made up. There's probably a woman in the picture already that he wants to take. He's already even told her about Indlu. Yeah, okay. I'm just like, so anyway, okay, the wife goes on to say, Pela, you have family. Like, why can't we take family and let the family stay in this house? Ubonga goes on to say he doesn't trust family, property. He needs someone who's close enhlizweni yakhe who's going to come and stay here. My problem is even if you get another wife, you're using this as a lousy excuse for polygamy. Even if you get that wife, it's not like you think she's going to be comfortable in staying in a house where basically everything is another woman's touch, another woman's taste. Zonke lezo zinto is going to change. So he's being tulunu. But one thing I noticed with the wife, even though she was like, Imi, she was not as surprised as I expected her to be. Either that's the way she is, or either this conversation has came up before in a joke or something like that. But I have a feeling with this wife is just going to accept this honestly because, yeah. Anyway, Ubonga goes on to say, when I'm coming, I was like, I know you are a very understanding person. Like, that's what I love about you. So take this issue, think about it, sleep on it. And while you're thinking about other things, think about this one as well. Hi, Bo. And Vele, like once he said that, Vele in her diary session, she goes on to say, ngiyamuzwa yena, I understand his reasonings. I'm like, his reasonings for what? For polygamy? Is that a good enough reason that akunamuntu like really? Anyway, she says she understands his reasonings, and she's grateful that he was brave enough to actually tell her. I'm like, nah, oh, okay. She seems as if she's accepting it. But one thing I've noticed about some men, guys, they will do everything you want. Like now, he bought a muzi in town, in the suburbs, which is very expensive. So it's like, what more like uzowalelani? Like, why would you say no when I'm providing everything for you? And I think that is an abusive measure upon women. Just because you are doing things for me because you want to, because I asked to, but that must not mean which just because you're doing things for me, I am now forced to say yes to uncomfortable situations just because now kuke ungithengele umuzi. Anyway, we see Ucheki, okay? Ucheki is the only guy amongst these guys that I can say Grootman, because he's the one. Actually saw one comment with someone who's like, I'm so judgmental for what I said about Grootman. Uchi, majority of these guys, for me, what I thought of Grootman is like they're not meeting the standard. I don't even think it's been judgmental, guys. It's like if you say Islay Queen, it's a title. There's a certain lifestyle a slave queen lives. So not everyone qualifies for that title. And if a person says, I'm sorry, slave queen list, it's not being judgmental because it's not a character assassination. It's nothing against a person's character. It's a title. So even amongst these guys, the only one I feel is living a Grootman type of life is Ucheki. The rest, I'm just like, able, but anyway. So anyway, Ucheki invites Ubonga and Upegi, which is, Upegi has another AKA name, which is Usisu. I get it because Isisu Siga Pegi, guys. Anyway, Ucheki invites Ubonga and Usisu for some vodka cocktails at his house. And Usisu goes on to say Utiena he's diabetic, so the doctor does not allow him to drink ama vodka. So Uzotanu Uti, the bartender, the one who's mixing the cocktails for him, is going to, like, I don't know, use ulterium ingredients so that it doesn't impact his health. Anyway, Ubonga tells the gents about his story, about him telling his wife that he wants his taboo, something like that. Basically, Usisu supports the idea and also opens up with yena phela his family came to him and told him ukuthi kunesikhala okumele sivalwe in his family, meaning that bayamthuma ukuthi yena Usisi needs to take his tembu because his brother's house is vacant and whatnot. So, mina ngisazi isithembu well, I have heard of his tembo, of the one of you don't want it, but abantu abadala that are still alive or sending you to do it. So basically, Ubegi is saying ukuthi even when he goes and tell umfazake, he needs to say ukuthi mina akusimina osicelayo ngithunyiwe basically. And the elders are basically saying, hayi phela umakoti nathi we sayomcelela. So now that she's in our family, she can't have a say ukuthi like how we must do things ukuthi umuzi wethu ume or isibongo sakithi sime. So that's going to be an interesting thing because I did see a trailer of Upegi eventually telling his wife that Lendaba is tembu, and listen, she did not take it well, even though Upegi says his wife is a calm person. So yeah. Anyway, guys, we see Ubonga while Ubonga's at Ucheki's place, he calls the rest of the guys and he's telling them, listen, Saturday we are having a braai just to chill, just to catch up. So the next scene we see Ubonga again having a braai and he's checking up on the gents. Right? He's having a braai in this new house of his, obviously for television vibes, guys. So it really looks like a nice house that he bought his wife. So anyway, he's checking up on the people. He hired catering, checking up Uti Uzarahle, like everything's well. So he decides to sit down and he takes a call. And as he's taking a call, TV guys go side chick, calling side chick. And then anyway, he's calling the side chick, he's having a conversation, and he's basically having a conversation with he's updating her. Aksa updates. If you thought side chicks didn't know, I go by our updates, my chicks. He's updating our with the chains are about to get you. We're gonna have a braai, who's banana drinks. So basically, if you try and call me, just know what's in same sin doing. Yeah, I'll call you later. Just so side chick umama. Umama doesn't get to water. But this girl on the phone sounds very young. So I'm curious ukuthi mera tufuna uthatha isithembu. Which girl is that? Because I'm just like the place where they currently live in. It looks like usama kayanyana. It looks like it's a bit far from the city. The girl sounds extremely young. I don't see her staying in that place unless this guy has multiple women that he's dating. But also something that I don't like, guys. Bonga has old children. Children who are old enough to go and do circumcision. And he is having a conversation with his side chick on TV. How careless of him. Because these children obviously are going to watch that, guys. Like, I feel like some of these guys don't respect their wives. Never mind the wives gap, because in their jola, guys, uktandana is between the two of them, the wife and the husband. The wife will forgive, but your children's perspective or the way the image that your children have of you, that is something you must protect up until they are at an age where they can understand certain things. I get, guys, in his diary session when he's addressing that cold thing, is like, "Ay, ingane yami ngileyon, that's uboy wami, that's my son, but angithi that's why his voice is sounding like a female and he's laughing." I'm like, you think that's fun? Anyway, all the guys arrive, the rest of the crew arrives, drinks, oseta bantu bamnandi. Next thing, a DJ comes in, and the DJ comes with a whole lot of girls for the party phela. Ubonga in his diary session goes on to say ukuthi DJ was wayimosha wasilethela amantombazane ke, acting as if he didn't know. I'm like, unamanga lo. He knew very well that the DJ is going to bring girls, but ever since this show has started, the type of girls that they bring, I'm just like, that's why I'm like, AmaGrootman, I want to see proper girls, because AmaGrootman that I know, they date proper girls. So I don't want to see girls that you can see Wuti. This one is just looking for an opportunity or what. You must see girls, clean girls, abakezayo. Girls who take care of themselves, that you can see they understand themselves. They're not gonna just, but the girls they've been bringing here anyway are my girls, are my gold tooth. No offense to girls, are my gold tooth, but you can see these are just type of girls who are willing to just have a nice time, willing to give it up today, tomorrow, and azani type of vibes. Hi guys, the night progresses, but a lot gets to happen, but the episode does end up ending. And yeah, it looks like, hey, those girls, those girls, that's what I'm saying, those type of girls are type of girls that they don't mind. Like they don't mind going off their men. But there's certain Grootmans that date, girls that, so that's why I expected to see. But the girls they've been bringing here, anyway, let's clock it right there, guys. This episode honestly didn't have much. It was not that interesting as the first episode, but we'll see as we carry on with the show, guys. We'll see what's going on. But honestly, these men's behavior, even when the girls came in, you could see their faces were lightening up, even though they were acting as if they didn't want those girls there. Anyway, guys, tell me your thoughts on this. Please do make sure you like the video. Please do subscribe. It is absolutely for free of charge, and I'll see you guys on the next one.